Devin Haney. I touch on him quite a bit on this channel. Y'all already know Devin Haney is one of my favorite fighters. He's the king. He's the man to beat at 135 pounds because he got all the marbles. So you got to pay homage and respect that. Whoever you are. All right, but check it, man. Myths or facts, man. These are the things that you constantly hear about Devin Haney, man. Number one is really two things, really three. First thing you hear always about Devin Haney is he has no punching power. Second thing you hear about him is he has a glass jaw, his chin is suspect, and the third one is he likes to hold and duck a lot. He grabs and then ducks low. A lot of people know that's either not supposed to really be doing that, or not that often. But Dev does it, and all these myths and all these facts. Well, as far as the punching power goes, man, Devin Haney, I showed y'all already. Matt Fouts Boxing. Go over to his channel and subscribe. He had talked about it, man, why Devin Haney is not generating power. And in my personal opinion, it could be because his weight cut. I've been telling people he moves up. It might end up being a different ball game because a lot of people are saying also that he stopped two of his sparring partners, but we don't know who these sparring partners really are. So the power thing, I think it is a myth. I think he does have punching power, but the problem is with Devin Haney is the weight cut. A lot of that, it's draining on you, man. It is. So, the punching power thing is very deceptive when it comes to him. He doesn't have that destructive power, but I think he does have some form of power. I think at 140, it's gonna unlock. Now, with that being said, as much as I love Devin Haney, it is hilarious to see some of the comments that's left about him. So a lot of things that's said about Devin Haney's power. He can't crack an egg. He can't punch his way through a wet paper bag. His fists are made of pillows. I've seen it all. But I kind of equate those sayings to when people talk about firearms. Like when people say, "Oh, a 22 is weak," and or a 25 caliber is weak. Well, it may appear weak, when it comes to like other handgun calibers, but at the same time, I don't think nobody want to stand in front of a 22 and let somebody pull a trigger at them. Same thing with a 25. It's the same thing with Devin Haney in a sense. He might not be the biggest puncher, and maybe that could be contributed to the weight cut. I don't know. We'll have to see at 140. I believe his power will resonate when he moves up. He might not be the biggest puncher so far currently, but when it comes to other fighters, like Tank or Teofimo Lopez or anything, people in similar weight classes. But at the same time, I don't think nobody gonna stand there and elect for Devin Haney to just punch them in their face or punch them to the body. Tell me how it feels after about 3 or 4 body shots from Devin Haney, or tell me how that jab feel when you're standing there letting them pop you in the face about 3 or 4 times with that jab. And then I guess you could come to me and tell me how he don't got no power. And granted, there's weight classes for a reason. So, I mean, you might forget, somebody like a light heavyweight could take punches from a Devin Haney. But it's strange because, you remember there's videos of Ryan Garcia punching dudes and, testing their body. Dudes letting Ryan Garcia punch him in the body. I forgot that one dude name. Big dude. Bigger, 200 plus pounds dude. He looked like he was about to throw up from a body shot against Ryan Garcia. So, I wouldn't want to get hit by Devin Haney. That's all I'm saying. We can say all of this stuff about his power, but I don't want to get hit in the body with by Devin Haney. As big as I am, he still can hurt me more than likely. So that's just one thing that's kind of hilarious. With the power. So that's one thing that's pretty much attached to Devin Haney is his punching power that people really they laugh at. It's kind of funny though. It is. Some of the shit is funny. But even Devin himself, he's kind of, when it comes to his power, I think he doesn't have much esteem when it comes to his punching power, because he asked Jorge Linares, how was my punching power? And when he got that knockout in 2018 of I forgot the guy name we knocked out. And man, he telescoped that punch, and all his life being went into that punch, man. And it took every ounce of everything he had and he just threw it into that one punch, and it knocked dude silly. But I guess we'll have to see. Like I said, when he moves up in weight, we'll see if Devin Haney is just really a pure boxer, or if his power was being held back because of his technique or because of the weight cut. Another thing that they say about Devin Haney is his chin. They talk about his chin. He has a weak chin. He's a glass chin, glass jaw. He's chinny. I've seen all those type of comments, and nobody was really saying that before he ended up in the fight with Jorge Linares. That's the fight where pretty much that has stamped him pretty much forever as being chinny. But I always said that was strange because, okay, Ryan Garcia, I'm just starting to hear about Ryan Garcia. People are saying his chin is suspect. So I will say that. People are now starting to say that. When the Luke Campbell knockdown, they started saying he was chinny. But then I was saying to myself, bro, you can't really call him chinny because he got knocked down. That was the only time at the time that Ryan Garcia had been knocked down. So you can't really call him chinny, bro. This is boxing, bro. It happens. But then when Tank touched him in the second round of their fight and he went down, you can either contribute that to Tank's power, or you can contribute that to Ryan Garcia might have a kind of weak chin, or suspect to or susceptible to flash knockdowns, or whatever you want to say. Teofimo Lopez, he was knocked down by George Kambosos. He was even knocked down by Sandor Martin. You don't really hear people saying Teofimo Lopez is chinny, Who else was knocked down out of the important guys in boxing? Lomachenko been knocked down by it was Jorge Linares. Yeah, now that I can remember, it was Jorge Linares that knocked down Lomachenko. You never really hear people say Loma was chinny, but the minute Devin gets touched by Jorge Linares and you see Devin kind of wobbly and look like he's walking to the wrong corner, oh my gosh, this World War III. Devin Haney's been touched by Jorge Linares. He has a weak chin. Look at his legs. But he didn't go down though, did he? He didn't go down like Lomachenko. He didn't go down like Teofimo Lopez. He didn't go down like Ryan Garcia. But Devin Haney is the one that gets that weak chin stigma attached to him, right? And Ryan Garcia, for the most part, he's starting to get that attached to him as well. It took a while for that though. You wasn't really hearing that after Ryan got knocked down by Luke Campbell. You weren't really hearing it much. Then you started, a couple of months after that fight, you start really hearing Ryan Garcia had a weak chin. But it wasn't immediate like it was with Devin Haney though. Proving me wrong. But like I said, this is boxing. It happens. But those are some of the things that people are attached to Devin Haney. Another thing that people is, are these things myths or are these facts? Some of them are opinionative though. But then the other thing that people label Devin Haney as, they call him some people have called him boring or a dirty fighter. Those are another two things. He cheats in the ring. He always ducks low and he punches, grabs you, then ducks low under the waist. He does do that a lot. And but hey, listen, the refs let him get away with it, but he's not supposed to do that, if not at all. But he does do that a hell of a lot. I'll say that, and I like Devin Haney. He surely does do that a lot. And sometimes it gives off the impression that he doesn't like to get, or not saying that he's afraid to get hit or whatever. But Devin's a tricky dude because it might appear that he's afraid to get hit, but then the other times he'll stand there and trade shots unnecessarily. Though that's not his thing. I don't recommend for him to stand there all the time and trade, which leads to the other thing that people say about Devin Haney. He's boring. So pretty much that's another thing attached to Devin Haney's name, that he's a boring fighter. Similar to what they say about Shakur Stevenson, but Shakur will stand there a little bit more, and he's a little bit more comfortable in the pocket than Devin Haney is. But they say Devin's boring because he likes to move around. He doesn't really plant his feet as much. And maybe that's some of the reasons why he's not really getting a lot of knockouts, because he's not really planting his feet. He's moving around most of the fight, and a lot of people don't like that about Devin Haney. And they're saying that he'll never really be a star. Like, his star won't grow. Star power won't grow if he don't start getting knockouts. And I'm saying to myself, maybe that is true, maybe it's not. When you compare it to Floyd Mayweather, Floyd later on in his career wasn't getting many knockouts, but he was just flashy in the ring. And people used to call Floyd boring when he started fighting that style. But I always thought it was nice watching Floyd fight, bro. I was amazed watching Floyd Mayweather fight, bro. But early on in his career, he was knocking dudes out. He had probably more knockouts than Devin Haney did, early on in his career. So maybe that's the difference with Floyd. He was more entertaining early on in his career, where he already grabbed his audience. And then I guess people are saying Devin Haney didn't really grab his full audience yet. So he's kind of losing, people are not going to look at him as entertaining, and they're not going to want to see his fights or whatever the case is. That might have some truth to it, because when you're trying to build your name, people want to see a little bit more excitement. But at the same time, what are you willing to risk in order to give everybody else that excitement? Are you willing to risk getting hurt or really, beat up in the ring just so everybody can be pleased with you getting punched on? So it's a double-edged sword when it comes to that kind of stuff. Me personally, I recommend you just do what he do, man. And if people don't want to watch, that's their problem. There's no reason for me to get brain damage because you want to see me risk it all and go for knockouts all the time, when that's not really my style. You know what I'm saying? This is my style. I'm the one in there fighting. I'm not telling you how to do your job at work, so don't tell me how to do mine. I kind of look at it like that. So these are some of the things that are attached to Devin Haney. Are these things myths, or is these things facts? Some of them are factual, and while others are opinionative. That's just my take. But anyway, it's your boy Rebel Light Boxing, man. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Let's talk about it, man. I'm going to catch y'all later on the next one. And I'm out. Peace.